Jennifer Mendyka here with your daily 60 seconds of biblical inspiration for your day. Today I'm going to read from Mark chapter 11, verse 24. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them, and ye shall have them. You know, I've heard people say, oh, I need a healing, I need a job, I need whatever. And they pray, oh, Lord, just give me a job, heal me, whatever it is. And then they turn around with the next breath and say, I know God can do it, but I don't know why he would do it for me. Or, I know God can do it, but I just don't think he's going to do it for me. I don't think I am important enough. So you believe that he can do it, but you don't believe that he'll do it for you because you're not good enough, or you're not important enough, or he's just too busy to deal with your problem too. It's silly that we do that. We put these limitations on God based on our self-image. Well, I just don't see myself as that important to God. Well, he knows the hairs on your head. He knows exactly how many hairs are on your head. Are you unimportant to him? Well, I just think God's too busy. God is omnipresent. God is all-powerful. Do you really think he doesn't have the time to deal with your problem? Do you really think that there's so much else going on in the world that he's just too busy? I've got all this other stuff. Really, God can't handle everything? I don't know what God you're thinking of, but the God I serve can deal with everything that happens and will deal with everything that happens as long as we're willing for him to deal with it. We see ourselves as this unimportant person or this undeserving person. And then we limit God based on how we see ourselves. Well, I'm just not important enough. Well, why? Why are you not important enough? Are you not important enough for you? Because God used tax collectors, talk about unimportant people hated. He used fishermen. When Jesus chose the people he wanted to teach, he didn't choose the powerful, the rich, the well-known. That's not who he chose. He chose the ordinary people, the people who just got by day to day, the people who were only known by those in their village, and not even all of those in their village, only the people they dealt with in their village. We have to stop limiting God based on our perceptions of how this world works. Oh, he wouldn't touch me. He would touch, the big important people, the people that you see on TV. Those are the people that God has time for. There's so many wars and famines and whatever going on that God just doesn't have time for my little prayer. There have always been wars and famines going on. There have always been big important people who were well known and seen by all. And God can work in those situations while he's working in yours. See, we need to stop limiting God and start believing that what we are praying for will be delivered. Because if you don't believe it's going to happen, it won't happen. Your unbelief blocks God from fulfilling that prayer. If you say, oh, I want this, but I know he's not going to give it to me, he says, well, right there, you just threw up the wall. You don't think it'll happen. You don't believe that I can and will do it. So I won't do it because I won't override your self-will. And your self-will is that you aren't going to get that. If you're going to pray for something, pray for it wholeheartedly and believe with every fiber of your being that God intends to deliver on that prayer. You just have to be willing to wait. He doesn't always deliver on his prayers immediately, but that shouldn't make it so that you don't believe it's going to happen. Believe that it will happen when God is ready for it to happen. When God's timing is right, you will be delivered from whatever it is you're praying for. God can and will deliver on your prayers as long as you believe with all your heart that he can and he will. A lot of people believe he can, but they don't believe he'll do it. He can and he will. It might not look exactly like what you think it's going to look like, but he will deliver on his promises and he will answer your prayers. Stop blocking God. Stop throwing your unbelief in there. Stop thinking you're so unimportant that God won't touch you. He loves you. He wants to touch you. He wants to heal you. He wants to give you that job. He wants to deliver on your prayers. But you have to believe. You have to trust him to do it at his time and in his way. Stop blocking God. Stop telling him that you don't deserve what he wants to give you. Because he wants to give it to you. Let him. Believe he will. Know he will. And he will. So step out of God's way. Step into a trusting and believing atmosphere. Know that he can and that he will. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Goodbye.